Hello, good evening, this is Diecast Luna. Hope you're all doing well. And this evening I thought I'd take a look at this set. I found the whole set of the Fast and Furious Dominic Toretto set, basically. And usually I don't buy the whole set, I don't do the whole thing, it's not really my thing. Usually I usually out of most of the Fast and the Furious car sets, I tend to just pick up the one or the two cars. And I know from this set, there was one or two that I quite like the look of. But anyway, when I went into my local, excuse me, B&M, I noticed that they had the whole set there. And lots of peg warmers as well. And I can't remember what the peg warmer was now, but it wasn't from this set, it was something else. Anyway, I'm going off the rail a little bit, but they did have the full set, so I scooped a full set. So anyway, we'll get straight into it and take a look at the first piece. So the first one is the 1995 Mazda RX-7. And obviously, excuse me, I'm not sure, I'm not an expert on the Fast and Furious. I remember, like I said, I've watched the first couple of films. But, so whether this is actually his car from the first film, I'm not entirely sure. Possibly it is. Like I said, there's the cars on the back for reference. But anyway, let's see if we can open them. So, I think they're calling these loosely now, so don't shoot me if I'm wrong. Is this the silver set they're calling these now, or the Hot Wheels Silver series, shall I say, because each packet does have a silver line on it. I'll show you again in a minute. And these are like semi-premiums, so it has got tampoed lights. My camera's not enjoying this, what's going on? Let's try that. So you have got tampoed lights, as you can see, and quite well done actually. And the front, now this is, I thought these were pop-up lights on this. But anyway, it's done on the front, and obviously a plastic base on this one, and obviously plastic wheels. But it is pretty cool. So that is the first piece, and it's nice to see the RX-7 not too overly dressed up, which is good. But anyway, so that's the first one. 2 of 5. Which is one of the ones I specifically after. Says the 1970 Chevelle SS, sorry. Bear with me 2 seconds. So I had to shut my window. Yeah, 1970 Chevelle SS in what looks like a flat grey. And there's the silver line. I have heard this on, I think it was Champion DJK said that I think he said these might be called, or I think he said they're called the Silver Series, which means they're like a middle of the road, middle sort of premium. They're not premium, but they're not basic. They're sort of in between basic and premium, which this one is a great example of that. So, as it has got obviously tampoed in front. There we go. So there's the front. And the rear. Sorry if the video jumped. I had a phone call right the way through it. So where was I? So yeah, tampo front, tampo rear, pretty cool. This one does have a plate detail, which is always good to see. It does look like that dot matrix. I'm not quite sure that everybody keeps going about, and you either love it or you hate it. But it does have, excuse me, a metal base. So like I said, they are like a semi-premium car, which doesn't really bother me anyway. I'm quite happy to pick them up, because I think I paid for these, off the top of my head, they might have been £3.40 each. £3.40 possibly. I can't remember, were they £2.40? I don't know. But they weren't overly expensive. So pretty cool. And like I said, these wheels do look good on this casting. But yeah, it's definitely like a primer flat grey. So that's very cool. So that's the 70, was it 70 Chevelle? So that's one of the ones that I was after. The next one, 3 ounce of 5, so they're all pretty, artwork's all the same, just obviously the change is the car. And this is the Lycan, is it Hypersport? So, and this one feels heavy, so I'm surmising that it must have a metal base. Yeah, it does feel like it's got a metal base. Squeaky chair again. Yeah, definitely metal base. And this must be, in a way, this must be quite cost effective, because all they basically do is they'll make a batch of these premiums, and they'll just put on a different set of wheels. So, and you call it this in between. So it's pretty clever. You've got your basic models, you've got your in between, you've got your full premium, and obviously, like I said, these are decoed up, metal base, but plastic wheels. And like I said, some of these newer wheels they're doing aren't too bad. But yeah, very weighty piece, probably the heaviest piece of the bunch. You can see it's quite a thick casting, so that's why it's heavy. This is probably my least favourite, if I'm completely honest. I'm not a big fan of this car. It's a bit fussy for me, but it is nicely made, and it has got cool sparkly metallic paintwork. So there you go. So pretty cool. So that is piece number 3. Let's have a look to piece 4 or 5. This is another piece that I was after. I think it was Charles Diecast Garage possibly had this. But yeah, very cool. So this is a 1950s Chevy Fleet line, sorry. So, and again, these aren't opening very well. It's not just me. I've got no nails, so I can't get into the packet. There you go. And this is a particularly cool piece too. So again, it is in the flat grey. Obviously supposed to give it that sort of worked on look. Now again, like I said, I can't remember the film. It was one of the later films, excuse me, that this car was in. I think this is one where it ends up being raced by Dominic in the film, and everything, as far as I'm aware of, falls off it. So if I'm wrong or what have you, let me know in the comments. But it is pretty cool. This will make a great piece for a garage scene or what have you. My only complaint is it has blue glass by the looks of it, but other than that, it is a cool piece. But it would look cool to drill this out, take the glass out, maybe take off one of the wheels and make that wheel look like it's flat, and make it look like a proper car that's just left on the side of the road. But anyway, there's the engine, and again, let's get a bit of extra. And that engine definitely looks like it's been painted. Just bear with me a second. That's a metal engine. So you've got plastic base, metal upper, and they've put a metal die-cast engine. So that is pretty cool. And it's painted in that metallic black. So pretty cool. So that's piece number 4. And then the last piece, again, is another piece that I thought was quite cool. So it is the 68 Dodge Charger. And there is the artwork. And let's see if I can get into this one. No, done it again. That's not too bad, and we're in. Excuse me, you have to excuse me. Coughing. I suffer from allergies and they're playing up at the moment because of all the pollen. So I do apologise for the coughing, but there it is. So again, obviously far from standard, and it is rather wide, and it's got an engine in the back and these gold alloys. I actually quite like this. To be honest, I like Dodge Chargers, and because of I get a bit bored of seeing them, because especially from the Fast and the Furious, but this one I actually quite like. So there you go, there's the rear. Got some real wide tyres in the back. But this would look good stripped out, drilled apart, paint that interior a different colour, give it some detail, and paint that engine and give it some detail, and put some better wheels on, some proper rubber tyres, and this would look awesome, which is a possibility in the future at some point. But yeah, nicely done. And it reminds me of the I think it was the Hemi under glass. I've done it again, come on, get it together. No, sorry about this, I'm doing this all the time, pressing the wrong zoom button. There we go. Yeah, the Hemi under glass, which I think was a Plymouth Barracuda, and I think it was driven by a guy called Bob Rickle, and it used to be a car that used to wheelie. But this reminds me of that just because it's a Dodge, and obviously it has the engine in the back, or should I say not Dodge, it is a Dodge, but the Hemi under glass was a Plymouth, but you know what I mean. It is a Chrysler, at the end of the day, Chrysler products. But anyway, I'm going off again. I do that, I just ramble on. So, solid sets in my opinion. Three solid cars. These are definitely the favourite American ones. Quite nice. The RX-7's cool. But yeah, quite a solid set. Lucky to find it. With that, please like, share, subscribe, stay tuned for more unboxing videos, challenge videos, premium pieces, blah 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 blah, and obviously vintage bits and all that good stuff. And I'll see you all very soon. Thank you for watching. Take care.